Let me just ask a few questions, and I'll start off with fire. I see Deputy Chief Jessop. There was a conversation this morning, particularly as it related to a gentleman that was here, Khaleel Seivwright, who talked about the small, tiny units that he is building because he sees a need in our parks, and indicated that while the building code doesn't really, if you will, it's not affected by the building code. I'm just wondering whether or not fire has had an opportunity to maybe take a look at those units, and if so, what exactly is the thought, consideration of fire with respect to these units? Are they fire safe?
Through the chair, you can hear me, Deputy Mayor?
I can hear you, Deputy Jessop. Yes.
Great, thank you. So through the chair, fire's position, especially after the year we have had with the number of encampment fires, including 10 this weekend, is that these structures that are being constructed, and specifically these foam pods, are not safe, and they are not designed for people to live in them in the outside. In fact, the polystyrene insulation is a highly flammable product. We had a fire this weekend with one of these specific pods. And, you know, when these things burn, Councillor, there's a reason why firefighters, when we go into these fires, especially with these new products of combustion, this type of material produces thick, toxic black smoke. And when it catches fire, it goes very rapidly. So our position has been very clear. We've seen a lot of homemade shelters outside, and they are not fire safe. We've had 1 death this year. We have had 7 deaths since 2010 in encampment fires. And Deputy Mayor, as of 2020, we have seen a 228% increase in the number of fire in encampments between 2019 and 2020.
Thank you very much. I take great comfort in hearing from Deputy Chief Jessop around the the small portable type of shelter that Mr. Seivwright spoke about today, and indicated that it met all the standards. It doesn't, and I don't want people to die from fire or any other problems in the area and so on. So.
And I'd actually like to also bring up the question Michael Thompson made for Jim Jessop about the tiny shelter, which he avoided answering. He made a point of directing the question to these pods instead of actually answering the question of whether
Mr. Seivwright? Mr. Seivwright,
yes.
I wonder if you could speak to the issue that we're dealing with. It's the Toronto Rent Bank and an eviction prevention in the community. That's the issue that we're dealing with at this moment, sir. You have had the opportunity to express your opinion on the units that you built on the previous issue. What's in front of us is eviction. If you could speak to that, that'd be very helpful, sir. Thank you.
I'll continue to speak to that because this is extremely relevant considering how many people are being evicted right now. But I think it's also very relevant considering these people will be possibly living in these tiny shelters that, there was not a fire safety inspection done on these shelters by Jim Jessop or anyone from the fire department. And for you to say that they are definitely not safe is a complete lie. That's an inaccurate statement, and you just witnessed it. We can listen to this recording again, and you can see yourself lying on camera. All right. So I would like a fire safety inspection to be done and for you to see the results of this inspection. On a side note, to however many people are going to be winding up homeless this winter. I guess that's all I had to say. If there's any questions, I'm very open to be answering them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Let me check to see if there are any questions of you. Looking to see if there are any visiting members of committee. Seeing none. Looking at members of committee, there are no questions of you, sir. Thank you very much.